What's up, everybody? Aaron with Aaron Unwinds and Why We Love Horror, back with the Aaron Alphabet Challenge, Aaron Unwinds Alphabet Challenge. I'm working on the name of it, but basically, we started with letter A. We're going through the full alphabet, all 26 letters here. We had B last week with Burnt Offerings. We're on to C this week. As I said, I am doing Cast a Deadly Spell. Here's the poster, and behind me, there's Fred Ward and a pair of legs and a door. Cast a Deadly Spell. It's a 1991 HBO original movie, and it is a Lovecraft noir. If you know anything about me, you know that is directly up my alley. I'm not exactly sure how it took me this long to watch this, but starring Fred Ward, rare Fred Ward starring appearance, and he's fantastic in this movie, playing Detective Harry Philip Lovecraft, also known as H.P. Lovecraft. Not very subtle there, but honestly, this movie is awesome. It is just a really, really good time. It's just this fantastic fantasy 1940s world where everybody uses magic. So, and then there's a mystical tome that's stolen, and a detective has to find it. So it's combining two of my favorite elements of film, and Lovecraft and noir, into one beautiful package, directed by Martin Campbell, of all people. Like Martin Campbell, Casino Royale, GoldenEye, Green Lantern, and Memory, as well as many other movies. I mean, he's been all over the place, and yeah, this is one that I just don't hear mentioned enough. I've had friends mentioning it to me, as I did with Burnt Offerings. Yeah, this is just a really, really good time. The cast is absolutely stacked. Fred Ward, David Warner in this, Julianne Moore in an early co-starring role, Clancy Brown looking young as hell in this. And there's a ton of just fantastic practicals in this movie. You get to see, like, they have really, really good world building as well throughout the movie. Really just like this, honestly, could have easily been a TV series with how fleshed out they could have made this world. Lovecraft Country was fantastic a couple years ago, and that was the closest we've had to this. But this is just an even more fantastical, like, fun approach that I almost wish HBO would have taken by the reins at the time and gone for it as a TV series. My favorite practicals in this movie is absolutely the gargoyle. I see that you see the gargoyle very early on in this movie, and you're just like, I really hope that we get to see this in action, and we get to see it fully in action. And I'm not sure who did the effects for the movie right now, but the effects were just fantastic. Kurt Sobel did the music. He hasn't done a whole lot of movies. The most well-known would be Alien Nation, I guess, or Tiptoes with Peter Dinklage. So, I mean, again, like, it's just kind of shocking that this movie was made by who it was made for. With the biggest problem, definitely is the fact that there's an older gentleman who's very interested in a lady who is 16, and yeah, like, that character isn't exactly made to be a bad guy in the movie. But, other than that, it's a really good time. So, like, one problematic element isn't enough to really ruin it for me. But, like, I don't know. I just think, like, it's, just like a perfect mixture of, like, a fantasy and horror movie. And then that, like, comedy in the movie somehow works cohesively with the noir elements. It's just really, really impressive. Like, it's a movie I think that more people should give a chance to, and that's part of why I chose to cover it here on the channel. Otherwise, like, just go see this movie. I mean, I don't want to give a whole lot away. I don't think a lot of people have seen it, and it's available right now on HBO Max. So it's going to be a little bit of a quicker episode here, but if I had to compare it to any movie, I'd say it is a Lovecraft, Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of movie. With the sculpting of the gargoyle, it was done by Jim McPherson. Ken Speed was the special effects coordinator, and Tony Gardner was the special effects supervisor. So I did want to give a special shout out to those three as well. Also, just, it's a shame we didn't get more Fred Ward starring roles. He was so great as the lead detective in this, Harry Philip Lovecraft. I wish we got to see more work with you in this because this was fantastic. So I don't know how many more ways I can tell you to go see this movie, but go see this movie. And one more way will be with my ratings, which is now one cohesive rating of a Leaf rating. And needless to say, this is a perfect movie to unwind to. It is absolutely fantastic. And you're going to have a better time if you unwind to this movie. Everybody out there, just saying. This is, approaching that 4.5, but I'm going to say it is just short of that. There is honestly just the 16-year-old angle was rough. There's a few of the really side characters that I just didn't quite like. But overall, this is a great time. 4 solid leaves here. And honestly, if you unwind enough, you're going to get up to 4.5, I think. This is a movie I could see myself revisiting. I could definitely see anytime I talk to somebody who's seen this movie, they're like, oh, I love that movie. And shout out to John of Why We Love Horror for being the first to recommend this movie to me. You know me very well, almost as well as Abby, but not quite, in case Abby's watching. I had to say that. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Keep checking out the alphabet challenge. I'm moving on to letter D next week. And for next week, for letter D, it's after C, believe it or not. We are going back to the 70s for the second 70s movie of the challenge with Death Game. If you've not seen Death Game, you are in for a treat. That poster I wish that poster was in my living room right now. You are in for a treat, though, with Death Game. The remake was Knock Knock, and trust me, they are 2 very different movies. I'll probably be talking about both inevitably next week, but thank you for everybody who's watched and supported this. Shout out to everybody who is showing support to this channel at this infancy, because as we continue to grow, we will not forget those who started with us. So drop a comment. Don't be shy. Give me your opinions on some good D movies. Pause. And like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody.